Let's talk about SaaS forecasting. There's a big difference between top-down forecasting and bottom-up forecasting. Top-down looks something like this. You say you want a 20% growth rate, take last month's revenue, you grow it by that. The problem with this is that you are starting with the assumption that you're growing 20%. You're not proving out how you got that 20%. And that's the important part of your projections, your forecast. You'll have to answer to your board, to investors. They want to know how you got the 20% growth year over year. Why is it 20? Why isn't it 15%? Why isn't it 50% growth? Instead of taking this top-down approach where it's kind of a black box, there's no real logic behind it. Think about what types of activities for a SaaS company actually generate leads that will eventually turn into customers that then pay you. Let's look at the FlowCog free SaaS financial model as an example. The sales and marketing funnel, the top of it. In the actual FlowCog product itself, there's a version of the sales and marketing funnel. It's kind of split out more, and there's some more knobs to turn if you need them, but it also kind of rolls up into more simplified assumptions if you don't need that complexity. Here we have clients sourced via marketing spend. That is going to be driven by ultimately how much it costs to acquire a lead or an opportunity and how much total money you're spending on trying to source those opportunities. A lot of these inputs are split out into small, medium, large, and mega. I like to do that in all of the models that I build. I think that's an important thing to do. Those represent your client segments. You want to be able to specify customer acquisition costs and conversion rates, if possible, for each of the different market segments in terms of deal size. If you have a small pricing package, if your least expensive one is only $50 a month, but your most expensive enterprise package is $1,000 a month, acquiring a customer in each of those categories is going to be a different exercise. It's going to take a different amount of time for that prospect to convert through each stage of the funnel. It's going to cost a different amount of money to even acquire that opportunity. And then, of course, you can zero out the different segments if you don't need them. So we start with how much money is being spent on sourcing opportunities from the marketing side of things. In this example with the demo data, it's $35,000 a month. And we don't want to keep that as a constant $35,000 because as your company grows, you're going to be spending more money each month on acquiring customers in total, not on a per customer basis necessarily. You have more money to spend on testing different campaigns, different acquisition channels, and you can pump more money into each of those. So again, $35,000 for this demo company. Split that money between the different categories or deal size buckets, market segments, whatever you want to call them. For each one, you're going to assign a cost to acquire an open opportunity. Here, it's about 4 times as expensive to acquire a lead or an open opportunity that's at the higher end of the market than it is to acquire a open opportunity at the lower end of the market. The cost to acquire an open opportunity each year gets either more or less expensive. Of course, if you don't know or you want to simplify your model, you can put no change over time. If you want to flex up and down the performance of your marketing team, if they do a so-so job over time and they, unfortunately run out of low-hanging fruit and it costs more over the years to acquire that same lead, then you want to be able to build that into your model. I think this is also very important. This is something that a lot of folks, when they're modeling for a SaaS company, they don't get right. It's hard to build in. Not all money spent on a marketing campaign in, say, the month of October is going to generate leads in the month of October. Sometimes those campaigns take months to play out. And so you want to give an average lag to offset the marketing spend from when you're actually acquiring that open opportunity, let alone a customer, right? There's needs to be a lag time between how long it takes for an opportunity to convert into a customer. That's a different conversion funnel and a different lag time. We'll get to that shortly. Now we're talking about clients or opportunities sourced strictly from sales team efforts. Outbound efforts. This is not leads coming in through marketing campaigns. We've already covered that. Now we're talking strictly outbound sales efforts. How good is your sales team, your account executives, your sales development reps at generating those open opportunities each month? If you don't have a sales team, zero all of this out. But if you have sales development reps, in each month, each SDR will generate X number of open opportunities within each of the deal size buckets. Again, we want to break out the opportunities into the separate market segments by pricing plan, however you'd like to categorize it. It's important to remember that splitting your funnels into these different deal size buckets is going to increase the complexity of the model if you have to build it from scratch, but it gives you a lot more control over saying, okay, our sales development rep team is not geared toward the upper end of the market. They only deal with small and medium-sized clients. Maybe they bring in 10 open opportunities each month. And then on the flip side of that, maybe your account execs only bring in 1 or 2 opportunities each month, but maybe they're in the large or the mega category. So you want to be able to turn those knobs. There's also the concept of what is the level of efficiency of these sales reps over time. If you haven't totally saturated the market with your product, as is the case with most companies, there's probably going to be some sort of growth rate in terms of sales rep efficiency. Maybe an SDR starts off generating 10 opportunities each month. The following year that you're projecting, that same SDR generates 11 opportunities. For each subsequent year, your sales reps should get some percent better. Again, if this is too complicated, if this starts to overcomplicate the picture or the story, you can always zero it out. But I think this is an important compounding effect to include in your model, because in reality, sales reps do get more efficient over time. So once those opportunities from the sales and marketing team efforts are in your pipeline, account execs are going to take some amount of time to convert a portion of those opportunities into closed won deals. Some of the prospects are going to find other solutions, other software solutions. Some of them are your sales reps are going to lose contact with. So the idea here is that you can't say that every single prospect that you bring in is going to convert into a paying customer. The sales cycle here, again, is very important to get right and to build into your model. You want an offset, a lag of a certain number of months, depending on your product, from the time when that prospect comes into your pipeline, how long it takes them to convert into a customer. So if you have a more complex product and a more complex sale, you're going to want to increase that sales cycle. So maybe your sales cycle takes 6 months or 7 months. If you have a product that you're selling for $20 a month, maybe that's a pretty quick sale, and maybe it only takes 1 or 2 months to convert them from a prospect into a customer. There are a lot of other inputs to consider here, right? There's the average deal size of customers. Again, this is going to be very important because customers in each of these buckets, they're going to convert at different rates. They're going to have different renewal rates, of course, which is important to build in. And that's a topic for another time. There's a lot that goes into this model. FlowCog's free SaaS financial model template is a great resource if you want to get up and running and see how your company is doing. It is pretty thorough. So if spreadsheets are not your thing, FlowCog also has software very specifically for SaaS companies that will start you off with some intelligent default inputs for a lot of these and kind of separate out for you so you can visually see what the most important inputs are and how those map and affect projections. Thanks for watching.